There are three things in life that are consistent: death, taxes, and the fact that I'm not a Nintendo YouTuber. However, when there's a Nintendo story going around that a lot of people are talking about, people hit me up. Why aren't you talking about this, that, and the other? We, of course, talked about this in the Nintendo Switch 2 video from over the weekend because a lot of people hit me up about this and a lot of people wanted my input on this situation. And that's kind of what's happening today because obviously people don't watch me for emulation stuff because yesterday's Duck Station video did not do all that well. Make sure you check it out if you haven't yet. But today, we're talking about an event that's supposedly happening this week. There's been a lot of talks about this leading up to it for several weeks now, and people keep hitting me up about it. Why haven't you talked about this? What do you think about it? So it's time to address the elephant in the room, that being The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom alleged Nintendo Direct that's happening this week. Now, I know what you're saying to yourself. Well, RGT, we just had a long 10-minute presentation with Mr. Anumo. Are they really going to do something already, you know, so close to it? Like, what was the point of that gameplay presentation if they're going to do something more in depth? And I think you're kind of right, but hey, you know, there is the chance of this. So let's take a look at this information and we'll kind of devise whether I think it's an actual thing that is going to happen. So this article was written a couple of weeks ago over on Early Game, but it's still applicable because I've been seeing a lot of videos popping up about this, even from the content creators who originally broke this story. They're making new videos to remind you that supposedly this thing is happening this week. So the gaming YouTuber Nintendo Prime has shown an alleged email stating the date of the next Nintendo Direct. Apparently, this live stream will focus on Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and give us more insights to the game. The date for the Nintendo live stream is set for April 12th, which of course, you're watching this now, that would mean it would be on Wednesday. Considering that such events usually take place 1 month before Nintendo's big releases, this whole thing seems to be quite reasonable. Additionally, Nintendo Directs are typically scheduled for Wednesdays, further proof that this may be real. And when you scroll down here, the email in question states that the upcoming Nintendo Direct will give fans a brand new look at the game's stunning world, gameplay features, and story. Even after watching the previous Tears of the Kingdom trailers, we don't really know all that much about the game and how it'll differ between Breath of the Wild. We are certain that the story is going to make the big difference because it is set in the present and not the retelling of old events like Breath of the Wild did. In another paragraph, the email teases that there will be information about the Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition and a new Link amiibo to unlock exclusive content in the game. God, I couldn't friggin' say that. This is all incredible. I'm so excited because this is all incredibly exciting. We hope to get an official confirmation about this Nintendo Direct soon. So this is coming to us. It's actually a combination of sources. It's coming to us from Nintendo Prime and Mike Odyssey. They've kind of been going back and forth talking about this Nintendo Direct. This is a video from a couple of weeks ago that Nintendo Prime had made on the subject, and then over the weekend he had made yet another video on this, sort of reiterating that this event is happening this week. Now, I kind of want to talk about the for and then the against this, because I'm not going to necessarily just write it off as something I don't think is going to happen. Now, you know, going along with the reasons why this could potentially be a thing. Clearly, we still don't know a lot about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Even after that presentation that we had, I feel like there's still a good bit of mystery. Like, it just kind of showed off some new gameplay features, but it didn't really show off what was different about the world of Hyrule and, you know, how the Sky Islands actually, like, work and, you know, what's the story of this game and all that sort of stuff. So I do think a lot of the meat of the game is still kind of hidden under scrutiny. Now, people have done detailed analysis. I've seen people do, like, hour-long detailed analysi on the Tears of the Kingdom presentation that we got with Mr. Onuma, and it's like, that's cool, but I'm not watching that. Like, I'm not watching an hour-long plus presentation describing what I saw in a 10-minute trailer. You know, the company, Nintendo, should be able to convey that to me with what they're trying to do. And of course, there is that stuff that, you know, it's a month from release, and we have seen that with a lot of key Nintendo games. with games such as Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Splatoon 3. Before those games came out, about a month before those games came out, there were large presentations showing the differentiating features from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon 3 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, sort of detailing everything. And both of those games were kind of quiet to the lead up as well. So it's well within the realm of possibility, you know, especially judging it on things that, you know, have historically happened with these games. Now, as far as the against it is concerned, I still kind of feel like Nintendo might be done. Like, you might get a story trailer for this game, you know, leading up to the release of it, that would sort of just show you kind of what's happening within this game and storyline wise and stuff like that. But I feel like that gameplay presentation threw a loop in a lot of things. I still feel kind of like that was the one presentation that was going to happen for this game, whether you like it or whether you don't like it. I mean, does it really matter? Like, the game is still outsell, you know, it's outpacing Breath of the Wild in terms of pre-orders and stuff like that. I still don't think it's going to completely outsell it, because it makes sense. There's a large install base for Tears of the Kingdom, whereas Breath of the Wild, you had to buy a Switch alongside of it, but that's a story for another day. I feel like this game has enough mystique, but there's enough known about it to, you know, pretty much put it out there and it'll be extremely successful. You don't need a whole bunch of other stuff to go alongside of it. And I think the biggest problem for me personally is I have asked several people that I trust within the video game sphere whether or not they have heard anything about this from any of their sources, and they all kept saying no. They all kept saying no, don't expect this to happen. And for me personally, that was a little bit disappointing, because I mean, I would love to cover something like this. I would love to have a bunch of Tears of the Kingdom stuff to talk about, because I'm excited for this game, and I would love to be able to talk about this upcoming Nintendo Direct presentation that is allegedly happening with the Tears of the Kingdom game. But just based on the information that I've gotten from other people that are very, you know, against this presentation actually existing, and then, you know, quantifying that with the fact that we still had that presentation. It's like that presentation was not necessary. If we were getting a direct presentation this week about the game and breaking everything down and all that stuff, that presentation was completely unnecessary. Like, why would they do that? Like, that's the biggest thing that's holding me back, beyond the fact that all my sources are like, no, this whole thing is BS. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening with this. You know, people can fake emails all the time. I hope for Nintendo Prime and Mike Odyssey's sake that, you know, this is an actual thing, because I feel like that could kind of, you know, potentially hurt reputations and stuff like that. Because they're the ones, they're the ones that are kind of, you know, being attached to it, because they're the ones that are talking about it being a thing. So I hope for their sake that this is a real thing. I hope for my wallet's sake that this is a real thing, because I would love to talk about this week, but I just don't feel like it is, man. I just don't feel like there is this good, huge presentation that's happening this week. I think you might get a story trailer, you know, in the next couple of weeks leading up to this game. The collector's edition, you know, maybe that's a thing, but that would kind of be disrespectful to the people that bought the other collector's edition that had the crap in it that nobody really cared about, like the art book and stuff. Like, if you're gonna do like a big statue thing, why wouldn't you announce that at the jump, you know, so that people could decide what version of the game they really wanted to get? I don't know. There's a lot of question marks for me with this. I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe you do think it's going to happen. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think of this. Do you think this Nintendo Direct presentation is taking place this week? Is there going to be a big Tears of the Kingdom blowout happening? Or is this it? Have we seen what we are going to see from this game? Is this the information that we're going to get, and is that just what we're going to have to deal with? Maybe we'll get a story trailer, but the Enuma thing was kind of the direct presentation that, you know, we were all kind of waiting for. Let me know what you think of everything in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit the bell notification as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.